This is gonna be. This is gonna be. I think Patrick Lynch. I want to say. Yeah, Patrick Lynch right here. Let me go ahead and put up his information. I found the Patrick Lynch. The Patrick Lynch I found has some pretty despicable crimes, but I'm not sure if it's the same guy. So I haven't. I'm not gonna put it up until I do a visual confirmation of the same individual. If it is, but I guess we'll be finding out in a. Oh, he's a nose picker. I think it is the same guy. Let me check right here. Let me pull it up here. Let me see the glasses. Yep, that's him. I'll add it up right there on the chat if you guys want to check it out. And I will go ahead and give him one of these before we start. Can you guys double check it? To me, it looks like the same guy. Let me check if I can see that tattoo on his neck. Yep, that's him. Tattoo on the neck confirms it.
Good morning, Mr. Lynch. How are you?
Good morning, ma'am.
We're about to begin, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Good morning. My name is Parole Officer Smelly. Today's Wednesday, January 22nd, 2025, and this is a hearing of the Connecticut Boards of Pardons and Paroled. The following board members are present this morning. And by stating their names on the record certified, they have reviewed all statutorily required documents and available pertinent information in preparation of this hearing.
Good morning, Mike Pohl.
Good morning, Joy Chance.
And I'm Ellen Zafo Sasu.
Please state your name and inmate number for the record, sir.
Patrick Lynch, 345-748.
This hearing is being conducted in consideration of the parole application for Patrick Lynch, 345748. He is serving a sentence of 12 years execution suspended after 75 months with 10 years probation to follow for illegal sexual contact with the victim under the age of 16. As of today, records reflect a parole eligibility date of October 10th, 2024 at 50%. There is victim input in this case. We also have our OVS, Office of Victim Services Advocate, Ms. DeJesus on the line, standing by. There is an offender accountability plan for the offender. It has been reviewed and shows the offender has completed Tier 2 to date, utilizing the statewide collaborative offender risk evaluation system. The offender overall score for the SRT falls within the high range. Utilizing the static 99R, the offender overall score for sexual offense recidivism fall within the low to moderate range. Mr. Lynch, this is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole.
Before Mr. Lynch begins, is he currently in the short-term program?
Nothing shows that.
With
Did you start it?
Yes,
and
ma'am.
he's scheduled to finish in April?
When did you start?
Yes. I started several weeks ago.
And it's scheduled to end in April?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thanks. Go ahead, Mr. Lynch.
This is your opportunity to express to the board why you believe you should be granted parole.
So I have kidney failure, and I was thinking maybe it'd be nicer to be released in the public in the world and not die in jail because I have a fatal disease, and I'd like to see my family before I, pass away.
So is that it?
No, there's I don't really know. I'm not good with words. I'm not a big talker. So there's a row. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah.
Okay. So, no matter what we do today, you have a New York detainer and you're going to New York prison for 18 years, right?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
Well, I understand your sentiment about wanting to go home because you have a disease that is going to wind up most likely being terminal in the end.
Yes, sir.
You know, you do have 18 years to do in New York.
Yes, sir, I know that.
Mhm. Okay, so what's going to happen is we've read about your background. We've read about what you've done while you've been incarcerated. We know what's going to happen when you leave Connecticut Department of Corrections. And based upon all of that, we have some questions for you, and then we're going to give you a decision in your case. So we'll start questions with Board Member Turner. Oh, excuse me. How did I come up with that? Board Member Chance.
Okay, so, Mr. Lynch, you didn't have much to say with your comments. You said you're not a talkative person, but you
No.
completed so you have a couple of issues. You were asked to complete, good intention, bad choices, and the short-term sex offender program. You completed
Yes.
tier 2.
I'm in the sex offender program.
Right, I know that. And then you have a drug score of 3, so you completed tier 2.
Yes,
Just in looking at your criminal history, why do you think you committed those crimes? And it's not just in Connecticut, it's in Massachusetts and New York.
Massachusetts. I've never been to Massachusetts.
May of 2000?
No. That's not me. I've never been to Massachusetts.
So there was one in May and one in November 2000 that had to do with liquor law violation.
No, ma'am.
Okay, I will ask the parole officer to check that out. I'm reading it in your criminal history. I didn't make that up.
Yeah, I understand. I have. But I'm letting you know I've never been to Massachusetts.
Okay. All right, so what kind of substance abuse problem do you think you have?
I smoked a lot of marijuana.
What else?
That's it. I don't do any other drugs.
You don't drink?
No, I can't.
Okay, so you took tier 2.
Yes.
Was that helpful for you?
Yeah, it was helped me clarify how to not do drugs and understand how I can control my urges.
So in your criminal offenses, did using marijuana play a role?
No, ma'am.
So what particularly in tier 2 told you that you shouldn't do drugs?
No, I'm not sure. I just realized that it's not a good idea anymore.
And what happens to you when you smoke marijuana?
When I smoke marijuana, it helps me relieve stress.
So if it helps to release stress, how is that wrong
I was just telling you what they told me at the program. They're saying drugs are no good for you.
But I'm talking about you and using, not what other people say. Do you feel it is a problem for you?
No, ma'am.
So you've been in the short-term sex offender program now for several weeks.
Yes, ma'am.
What have you learned from that?
Truthfully, nothing.
Beg your pardon?
Truthfully, nothing, ma'am.
You haven't learned anything?
The program that I'm in really doesn't teach you anything besides how to read. Because they go from one thing to another and another and another, and it's not set on one specific thing. There's like 6 or 7 different things they've gone through already. And I haven't really understood what was going on in the program.
So far, you think all that it's teaching you is how to read?
Not learn how to read, no.
But that's what you said.
Yes, that's what I said. But the program really doesn't set on one specific thing. They have you reading, and I have literacy, so I'm listening to what other people say. And what I've heard from what the other people say is that the hard talking thing is kind of hard for me. I'm not good at it. Explaining, I'm not good at it.
So why do you think you committed the offense that you did?
Stupidity.
Explain that.
Not thinking before actioning.
Yeah.
I reacted instead of thought about it. I didn't think about the consequences. I'm gonna do that from now on before I do anything.
So what do you think was the impact to the victim who was under 16 years old?
I feel really bad for this, about what I've done. I think I've hurt her seriously, mentally. I feel really bad for what happened.
So you previously had another offense committed in New York
Yes, ma'am.
in September of 2023. Why do you think it's happening again?
2023. No,
Well, that's when you were charged or
2020.
convicted.
2023. No,
I'm sorry,
that's
2020.
the original. That's this situation.
That's what I'm talking about, the one
Oh.
in New York.
No, that's the one in Connecticut.
Connecticut for Sarkis.
Yes,
New York, you had
2021 in New York is supposedly.
That's what I was asking.
September 23.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. So again, Mr. Lynch, I say to you, you had this offense in Connecticut in 2022, and then you did it again in September 2023 in New York.
No. It happened in 2019, 2013.
And you're just being charged in New York?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Patrick. With the same date of birth. Different social security for the Massachusetts.
So it's wrong on the record.
Correct. For
Okay.
Massachusetts.
Yes.
Okay.
No, I was not,
So-
never been in Massachusetts.
Okay, so I did ask her and she indicated that there's another person with the same name, same date of birth,
Yeah,
but a different social security number.
I've had that
So-
problem before, ma'am.
I beg your pardon?
I've had that problem before when I got pulled
Oh,
over.
you have? Okay, so I apologize for that. I'm going to ensure that that is removed from your record.
Yes, I had that problem when I got pulled over for speeding,
Oh,
but I dealt with all that already.
okay,
Yeah,
all right,
wrong, different social security number, yeah.
right, but the same name and date of birth.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, I appreciate you clarifying that, and I will, we will ensure that that's removed from your record.
Because the other Patrick Lynch had a warrant for his arrest. And I didn't at the time. So they let me go and I went to court and I dealt with all the situation.
Okay, well, thank you for sharing that.
Thank you.
Okay. So, so for me, Mr. Lynch, today, I do think that I am disappointed that what you have gotten out of the short-term sex offender so far is actually nothing. It is concerning because at least I thought it would have been able to help you with understanding why you committed this offense.
No, it didn't really teach me anything. I'm being truthful with you. The
Okay.
program, it's a good program, but they go flip-flopping around on too many different subjects. They don't concentrate on one thing at a time.
Have you shared any of that with
Yes,
the?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am, I have.
You have.
And they told me to just follow through with the program. So I just do what I do what I'm told to do.
Okay. All right, well, I don't know, what else we can do. I know you have some medical issues that you're addressing. So I wish you the best of luck there.
Thank you.
And I hope that eventually, as you continue in the short-term sex offender program, that eventually something will click to help you to understand.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Board Member Chance. Board Member Zappos has any questions?
I just have one quick one. Mr. Lynch, in your interview with the parole officer, you were asked to talk about what happened. And you said that you felt aggravated, and that people know the truth. Are you acknowledging the offense for which you're serving time?
Yes, ma'am, I have.
And when you talked earlier about the ineffectiveness of the tier program in terms of controlling your urges, were you talking about urges in terms of your substance use or urges in relation to the offenses that you've committed?
Both.
Okay. So if you were to be released, although we understand that there is a detainer, how do you perceive yourself in the community and not committing these types of offenses? What are you equipping yourself with strategy wise?
My strategy is gonna go to dialysis and stay around my house. And stay away from people I'm not allowed to be around.
Thank you.
Thank you. Board Member Chance.
So, there is not much to go on
Board members.
with Mr. Lynch today. He completed the Tier 2 program, but, you know, he said the only drug he does is marijuana. He does not see it as a problem because it helps to relieve his stress. The short-term sex offender program.
Ms. Chance, I'm sorry, there is Office of Victim Service input, and I inadvertently went back
Okay.
to you for discussion before I recognized OBS. So, Mr. Jesus, I'm sorry.
It's okay, good morning, board.
Thank you.
I did try to unmute, but you couldn't hear me. Good morning, my name is E. I am the victim of Patrick Lynch, and I am still traumatized from what Patrick has done to me when I was 12 years old, and I'm currently working with a mental health therapist and EMDR therapist and seeing a psychiatrist. I do not want Patrick to be granted parole because I'm still living every day with what happened to me, and I have PTSD from it, and have ongoing panic attacks. I also don't want him to be living anywhere near me. Patrick has caused me so much trauma and anxiety and pain these past 2 years, and now knowing he is up for parole terrifies me because I don't want him on the streets and going to find another victim. I want him to stay in prison and finish his sentence on my case till he has to go back to New York for that case. Please do not let my rapist walk in the streets because I'm terrified of him, terrified of what he might do to me if he gets released from jail. I'm also engaged and would like to not bring this into my new life with my fiance, especially now that I have found a man who understands my trauma that Patrick Lynch has caused me. Patrick has tormented me with threats when he raped me at the age of 12 and told me if I spoke about it, he did what he did to me, that he would kill me and he doesn't deserve to see the light of day outside of his damn jail cell. He deserves to rot in jail until he dies of liver failure because he's a piece of explicit who took my whole childhood away from me. And I can never get that back. And I can never get rid of the daily nightmares that I have to live with for the rest of my life because of him raping me. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, I'm sorry that I missed you. And we certainly appreciate victim input in these cases. Board Member Chance, sorry for the mix up there.
Okay. So, as I was saying, Mr. Lynch has 2 programs. He completed Tier 2, which he said it helped to clarify why he should do drugs, but he says the only drug he does is marijuana, and it helps to release his stress, and that's all it does to him. He is currently in the short-term sex offender program and has acknowledged that the program doesn't teach him anything except how to read. When I asked him if it hadn't helped him to identify why he commits these acts, and he's indicated no, which is extremely concerning for me because he has committed this offense. This is his second one, and it is concerning for me. So today, Mr. Lynch has not addressed his criminogenic needs, which is his criminal behavior in terms of its sexual offenses. And it is a serious public safety issue for me, considering that he has not been able to gain anything out of the short-term program so far. So I have Mr. Lynch denied. Great.
Board member agreed. Nature and circumstance, injury and impact on the victim. So regarding Patrick Lynch, 345748, move to deny parole based upon nature and circumstance of the current offense, injury and impact to the victim,
Inadequate evidence of offender change.
and inadequate evidence of offender change. Is there a second?
Second.
Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. Mr. Lynch, we weren't able to give you parole today. We hope that you do good with your treatments and such.
Thank you very much.
This concludes the hearing for Patrick Lynch, 345748. Mr. Lynch, you'll receive all this in writing. Good luck to you.
Thank you very much. I'm free to go.
And this concludes the hearing for MacDougall at 11:20.